What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to give you a good update on SoFi, why there's still a little bit more of a disconnect going on with the price, what is happening behind the scenes, and what I'm doing. But before I get into any of that, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I greatly appreciate that. With that, let's get right to it. Live ticker is going at the very bottom. Like I said, there's a little bit more of a disconnect what's happening, and Anthony said it best that right now the market is just very irrational. So right now it is currently down 1.08%, 21.6 million for volume, and I'm going to explain what that is and what that's mostly comprised of. 53.4 is the average, and 6 million shares being purchased by institutions on the secondary market, which overall is very important. And technically right now we all know CPI did come out, several different things. I think overall the broader market kind of realized that yes, the numbers were very much bad, but if you look at it on a little bit more of a finite comb, it's not that bad. So looking here, just in case you guys do not know, right now the forecast was 8.8%. It did come in at 9.1, and that's more on a year-over-year basis. On a month-over-month, the forecast was 1.1%. Did come in at 1.3, so it was a little bit higher in that regard. But if you look at it, like I said, with a fine-tooth comb, the energy component, that is where it basically has burned us for the last little bit. So just looking at that for a second, the whole sector in May was 3.9%. It did kind of roll into 7.5, so in that regard significantly higher. Gasoline, which we all know has been relatively high, in May was 4.1% and 11.2% in June. And it goes to show this is what's giving and stimulating the market a little bit right now, is because we all know that gasoline prices have gone down roughly about 20% from their highs. So that will translate into the next CPI data being a little bit lower, at least on the energy component side. If you do look at a lot of the other factors such as food, it does show that they have gone down. So even looking at food at home, 1.4% compared to now 1%. So again, it's one of those things, you take the energy component out, it's not that bad. So that's one of those things I just wanted to share with you. But behind the scenes, big money is buying. And like I said, 6 million shares being purchased on the secondary market. That's you and I, what we trade on. And looking here, this is technically the dark pool. I've been really watching that over the last little bit, and they have been buying a lot. And today, that's a massive understatement. So looking right here, this is all the transactions that have been being purchased by institutions on the secondary market. So all of that, massive amounts, and there is some pretty big ones on here. So 1.31 million. So big money is definitely buying. So make sure you guys do your own due diligence. I'm not here to tell you what to do. This is just merely me bringing up the facts, and institutions buying behind the scenes is one of those big factors that I think a lot of retail investors really like to hear and to generally follow for the most part. Just want to give you a quick update as well on short information, because something is happening behind the scenes with this. They're actually closing 1.3%, and that's a very big deal because other similar growth stocks right now, they're actually adding. So a little bit more abnormality going on right now. Cost to borrow is actually kind of maintaining itself, so 3.01%, and right now 4.82 million shares are being returned. So definitely something is happening behind the scenes. This is why if you are going to get in early. I'm going to do a little bit more technical analysis, but like I said, I'm going to explain what I'm doing. And I've been kind of alluding to this over the last several videos, and I'm just going to quickly pop over to Interactive Brokers. So generally speaking, I like to use them for a lot of good information, has a lot of detailed information. And like I said, I am going to be starting to do a portfolio only for SoFi, several different portfolios in fact. And I'm just going to show you this. So technically right now I do have several different things, one of which is a pure SoFi actual portfolio, and technically it's just going to be me buying every single week $25 just to give you a good representation of what dollar cost averaging is going to do, especially for the long term. If you do want to participate with me, let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to kind of share this experience with you. I'm also going to be doing it with Lucid and also having two different portfolios, one of which is going to be conservative and the other one is going to be aggressive. I have yet to buy anything for aggressive yet, but the conservative conservative and aggressive are going to be $100 every week. So like I said, if you want to participate with this, I'm going to be sharing my kind of pros, cons, everything that's going to be up, down, sideways, everywhere. So definitely stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys subscribe because of that. It is going to be a very fun ride. And this is why I am very committed to SoFi, because I know long term this is going to do a lot of good things. Just it's going to be a bumpy ride, to say the least. But as of right now, even me purchasing today, I have 4.17 shares. Obviously, I like to use Interactive Brokers because you can have fractional shares. If you do want to take a look at Interactive Brokers, link in the description below, or also the comments has a lot of good information. But as you can see, I did do the $25 right now, down 1.4%. So it is what it is. Can't really change that. Long term, it's going to be very much green. But with that, just going to quickly bounce back over and do a little bit more technical analysis. What is actually happening behind the scenes? So right here, I do have the 50, 100, 200-day moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, and momentum. So we do still have that deviation on the stochastic. So red line above the black showing a little bit more of a bearish sentiment. Number of buyers have actually kind of been maintaining itself. So that's a very good thing. And you can tell that based on the momentum indicator. RSI is currently at 48, and on the actual chart, we're kind of in no man's land a little bit, so between the lower percentile of the Bollinger Band and the higher. Generally speaking, we don't have enough to break below that in my own 2 cents, and like I said, there's a lot of individuals out there all kind of citing that we are, for the most part, done with inflation, that it should be trending down going forward, which is a very optimistic sign. In addition to that, the next thing to look forward to is the Fed meeting, on which they did kind of cite that there's going to be 150 basis points increase over the next 2 meetings. So depending on what they do, whether it be 150 or 75 or whatever it might be, whatever combination, but I feel it's already been factored into the price. And keep in mind, when they are increasing their interest rates, that is very beneficial for SoFi. So just keep that in mind. But overall though, the technicals are a little bit more mixed, but a lot of the attributes behind it are very much bullish. Just giving you a macro and a micro view on this. So as far as the Fibonacci, 604 is our pivot point. So technically we are between the S1 and the pivot, lagging the market a little bit. And more so on the bar chart, we have the first, second, and third resistance points, 621, 639, and 654, very tight knit. So if we do have that good piece of news, we can easily break out of that. And generally speaking, that is exactly where the 50-day moving average is as well. So on the contrary though, first, second, and third support is 555, 573, and 588. Depending if there is a lot of bad news continuation for SoFi or whatever floats its boat, we could potentially see the mid fives if possible, depending on what happens. Today we actually did break below the first support level, but we did kind of bounce off of the second. So there is a lot of strong support that we do have, and long term is going to do a lot of good things. Just you never know, right? And based on the shareholder meeting, what recently happened, they could do a possible reverse split as well. I know some people are still possibly mixed on this, but still, no matter what, I think it is good that is behind us. And so we can look forward with SoFi as far as new 13Fs as being a catalyst, or their possible upcoming earnings being a very big catalyst. So depending on how you see all that, there is a lot of positives in SoFi's future. Let me know your thoughts on SoFi in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on SoFi.